Today, I'm delighted to be joined by my friend and co-host, Mark Mayfrey, CTO of BeyondTrust.
Hey man, good to be hanging again.
And we're also joined by the legend that is Dennis Fisher of Decipher fame. So Dennis, welcome.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
And Dennis, as you're our resident cyber historian, you've been a journalist covering the scene for a very long time. Do you want to let the audience know what we gathered to talk about today?
I would love to, James. Yeah, we are here to talk about the 25th anniversary of the Code Red worm, which Mark co-discovered, I guess is the right word, Mark. That was a different time in security, as we'll get to. Security kind of didn't exist at that point. Both the security community, the industry, the worm itself has like kind of this outsized place in cybersecurity history, I think. And there's a number of reasons for that. One, I think, is the name itself. I think gave it a lot of the notoriety that it got immediately. And then it was kind of the first big internet-wide worm. There had been a few smaller ones before that, like I Love You, and I believe the Anna Kournikova worm was before that, but those were more of the email worms. And Code Red was a network worm that had some DDoS capabilities as well. It was one of the first big ones that kind of broke out of the little security world that we lived in at the time, Mark. So what do you remember about that time, like right leading up to the discovery of Code Red?
Myself and Ryan Perma, it was like, essentially a Friday night after work. And we got a couple different emails from two different customers of ours that were like, hey, my web server is doing something weird. They couldn't really explain it. And we started to look at the packet captures. And like, at first we didn't really think as much of it. But then we came across where like there was like this kind of like outbound connections and stuff happening in a way that seemed abnormal. Pulling on those threads there and those packet captures led us to finding that, in fact, yes, this was not just somebody exploiting this vulnerability as kind of a standard exploit, but when we actually got into the payload and when Ryan got into it, like, disassembling like the assembly to figure out like what its behavior was, we were like, wait a minute, this is not your standard exploit, right? Like this is something different. And of course the name Code Red was like this amazing soda at the time. And very fitting that the worm, one of the parts of the payload is I would literally post like a message on the website saying like hacked by Chinese, et cetera. And so it just all fit. We basically just posted our analysis on some security mailing lists, like not really thinking a whole lot about it at the time, right? Because nothing like this had kind of happened in this way. And then obviously it went crazy from there as far as the unfolding, if you will. Later that week, I actually got a phone call from somebody that was in higher up in marketing for Pepsi. It was like, hey, it's weird being associated with this like bad worm thing, but we're selling a lot of soda. And they were like, we see that there was a Pepsi distribution site like a few blocks from our office, basically. They were like, so if we can send you guys, some free soda, like we'd love to. And they did that for I don't know how many months until we at the office were like, just stop. Like we can't drink anymore. But by the way, this is where I'll do the old crack it open here. Can we get it? Oh, it's still got a thing. Look at dude, we all got it going.
No, I haven't had this in like 25 years, Mark. I don't know. Yeah. God, that's good. I hate to say it. It's really good.
So Code Red Worm exploited a default on service that actually, at the time, probably many organizations didn't even know they were running, didn't know was misconfigured, didn't know there was a patch available for. What's today's equivalent of that? What's today's visibility blind spot that is just waiting to be exploited in organizations?
Everything that I've seen in the rush for businesses to adopt AI, and it completely makes sense, right? Like if you're not adopting AI and kind of enabling your business on AI, like you will fall behind. And I think in that rush for companies to want to stay competitive, adopt things quickly, same as during the internet boom and everything else, I think a lot of people are rushing into it, and security always kind of lags behind. And so I think how you think in a more kind of first principles way around some of the world of AI security, and in some ways it's those same principles that existed back of when we think about Code Red, right? Like do you even know what you have? Step one in security. I think positively on like AI, like there will be this kind of period of a little bit of turmoil and kind of chaos as everybody's figuring out what the new normal is. But like I think we'll level set, right? Like I think we'll get there. And I think conversations like this is critical. You look back and like the patterns are what you're looking for, right? And I think we see a lot of these same patterns. The more that we talk about them, the more chance that people are going to do something about them and be educational in that way.